Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, how many of you are married? Okay, the question is more for gentlemen. How many of you are married? So for all those who are married, this session may have some good takeaways. For all the ladies, this might add some value, but I'm not sure at the end of the session whether you are going to love me or hate me. I'm going to take that risk. And for all those bachelors who are happily waiting for the D days or the W days, this session will come handy because you will be well prepared for certain things that you come across after wedding. Before I start what I'm going to say, let me tell you that at any point of time, if you have any question, any objection, anything that you want to ask, please feel free to raise your hands, ask then and there, stop me, ask there. But I have the freedom to answer it there at that time or ask you to park your question towards the end, because if I feel that by answering your question at that point of time I'm debating, I'll ask you about it. Agreed? Okay, let's get started. So, all the married men, what is the most irritating activity that you have to participate? You have to participate. I'm not saying you participate. What is the most painstaking activity that you have to participate? Yeah, so it's something.
Okay. Seeing off.
Why I'm getting most of the answers from bachelors? Probably married men don't even have it.
Because they are afraid. People are afraid.
Got your point, man. Yes. And that holds true for me too. More so, the sale season is on. And we poor men have to go to the sale even if you don't have to buy anything. Even if our wife doesn't want to buy anything. But we have to go to the sale, accompany them. They go there, they spend 1 hour, maybe they might like 3 dresses. Out of that, they will ask you to choose 1 or 2. You find all the 3 to be the same because we men are generally colorblind. And you say, oh, this is good, this is good, this is good. And then, well, it becomes subjective. Let me not venture into that. But the resultant is not just that your wallet takes a hit, but also the wardrobe takes a hit. Most of the cases we have seen, and personally I have seen, the wardrobe is full, but still some new clothes will come and get into it. I asked my wife, why? You have so many clothes, and most of them I haven't seen you using for a long time. She had a very funny answer. There were 2 directions to the answers. The first direction answer was, oh, most of dresses, I think they get out of fashion. I said, then give it to someone. But who knows, the fashion may come back again. The second set of answer is, you know what? I like the way the dresses give me respect. I said, what? I open the wardrobe, all of them fall into my feet. Buddy, that's not the only thing that falls on your feet. Even my bank balance does that. So I thought of an idea. Generally, when we have our clothes which are not used, they remain in the wardrobe. Sometimes it's given up to someone, close friends, close sisters and someone close to, they may take it. Or in certain cases, when it is very old, it might go to Bangar. But what if you get a platform to sell off your clothes which have not been used? Generally in India, we don't like to buy second-hand clothes. We don't. But if you look at it, There are many people in India and across the globe which cannot afford branded clothes. And if they can get branded clothes at pretty less cost, for example, a jeans which cost, let's say, 3,000 rupees, you bought it in a sale for, let's say, 2,000 rupees, and since you are not using it, you sell it in 1,000 rupees. In 1,000 rupees, the person is getting Armani, Levi's, whatever it is, which is a good thing for the person. Instead, man,
Yes.
I know married men won't speak, but there are bachelors. Now, there is a reason why I am talking about women's clothes and not men's clothes. For the reason that when we are bachelors, we don't mind what we are wearing. When we are married, we don't know what we are wearing. We don't decide that. So let me get started and take you through what kind of a market I'm talking about. Sell your second-hand clothes. What I'm talking about is a market of women wear focusing primarily into Western wear, and there is a reason to it. If you look at it, women wear currently is 1.2 trillion rupees business in India. I'm talking about 2020, 3 years down the line. Even now it is almost a trillion, more than a trillion rupees business. And out of that, as of now, the Western wear is for around 25%. This segment is Western wear, which is going to grow up. It's slowly growing up. And I'm sure in the next 5 years or 6 years or 10 years, this 25% will become 30, 35% or maybe 40%, especially in metros. So when I'm talking about this, what I'm talking about is around 275 billion rupees market in India, or in 2025 it will go to 325 billion. That is considering it remains at 25%, which is it's supposed to grow. So what happens? Out of these clothes, 30% of the clothes that you buy either not used or they wait for the fashion to return. They are not used or hardly used, which amounts to almost 100 billion rupees. That much of clothes, that much of amount, 100 billion rupees of amount, that much of economy is lying idle in your wardrobe. Literally idle, not adding to the economy, just adding to your wardrobe space. So I am going to propose to add 100 billion rupees to your wardrobe and a significant amount of it to the economy. It can, these dresses can be used by someone else. And I told you that there is a reason why I picked up Western wear. The reason is, though the second-hand clothes market is not available in India, except for with the Bangarwala, those clothes we are not even talking about. But if you look at the African market, there is a huge potential. Today, it's $1 billion economy in Kenya, and similarly growing third world countries or African countries. Forget about that. Even in Europe, UK sells a huge amount of clothes to Denmark, where they are storing huge sorting warehouses and spending millions of dollars just for those warehouses and sorting processes for clothes which are collected from across the Europe. Now imagine what kind of a market are we looking at? Not just domestic market, but whole of the world. Primarily third world countries or countries which have poor buying capability. The countries where per capita income is significantly less. Not that we Indians have most of a huge per capita income, but even in our comparison, there are many countries which have less than a third of our per capita income. Our neighbors also fall into that category. So the reason I'm talking about Western dresses, our Indian dresses, the ethnic dresses may not have a market in Africa or anywhere within even in Asia or Europe. It may not have, but Western dress will have a market. So that's why this is the market that I'm looking at. It can be sold or donated. Options are you sell in domestic market or international market, you export it, as I just now told you, or you donate it. So these are the options that we have, and the platform that you will get will have the options available for you to pick up, whether you want to sell it or you want to donate it. The revenue that comes from that will add to your pocket. It is 10 to 12 weeks. The revenue that comes from that will add to your pocket, and if you donate, the pleasure that will come from it, the inner satisfaction that you get is what will add to your soul. You will have the option to reduce the space, or rather, let's say, increase the free space in a wardrobe. You will get certain amount, assuming that your dress, your apparel buying budget was 50,000 for a year, and 30% of it gets unused, remains unused, which is 15K. If you are able to sell it, it might fund your next month purchase or the purchase that you might do in the next sale. For all those married men, that's a sale you can do. International reach and a new wardrobe I already talked about. So these are the things that you'll get. Plus, if you want to donate, let's say there is flood right now in certain places, and you want to donate your clothes there, you would be able to using this platform. So this is how you get into the process. You become a member as an individual member or a business. Let's say you have a business, you want to start a business for a second-hand clothes, you want to sell those on our behalf. Add it to it, to our system. Once you have the clothes, once you decide that these are the clothes which I'm not going to use in the near future, take an image, upload it, say what this is my expected price, or I want to donate it. I want to buy it, I want to sell it or donate it. Or if you want to buy second-hand clothes for someone, you can still go ahead and buy. This platform will provide you. These will be different platforms that will be available. Mobile, website, as well as offline stores. So there are plenty of opportunities for you to take the next step and join the revolution. A revolution which will change not your buying habits, but your storing habits as well as your selling or donating habits. Come and join us. Thank you.